going to demonstrate how to replace the intake manifold gasket. Common problem on these cars. It's on a 2003 Impala, but it's the 3800 engine, and the 3.4s, 3.8s, 3.1 liters, virtually the same problems. Not a bad engine, it's just a common problem. It's not a bad engine. It's not that hard to fix. If you're a novice, do not try it. Let me back up. If you're a novice, by all means, if you want to try it, try it. I mean, that's the only way you'll learn. But it's not a job that you want to just tackle with no experience if you can help it. But read up on it, study it, and that's why I'm making this video. I won't know everything how to do myself. I've never done a lot of things, but that's why I do those things and try to videotape them as I do them, mistakes and all, so you can learn from them. And I think that's what YouTube and all these places are so good about doing. But we'll get started here in just a minute, and I want to show you real quick. If you look in here, you'll see this here is the intake, this plastic piece right here. Now the problem is the design. I don't like the design on this car. You have a aluminum, you have a plastic intake in the plenum. You see there. Under that's the intake under that, and you have cast iron sleeves, aluminum intake or heads rather. 3 different types of materials, and physics will tell you 3 different types of material as they heat and or cool. They're going to shrink and expand at different rates. So what we've done, I've already started removing some stuff, and I apologize for that. I want to stop, and I hadn't done a lot, but I have taken stuff apart, and because I want to make sure I show everything that I possibly can. But what we have removed is not just a lot. We haven't gotten into the hard part yet. So everything we moved, just the simple stuff like right here, the air box and the nozzle that attaches to the mass airflow sensor that goes into that, and that goes to the throttle body, as well as the arm that you see over there, right there, the arm over there, which is another one on this side over here that's going to bolt in these 2 bolts here, and it's also going to bolt into the bolts right there, up there. So I took that arm off just to give myself some more room. And you see there's the air box. I'll take the air box off now in just a moment, but I want to show you right quick. I have taken the things loose right here. Mass airflow sensor, I talked about that. I've taken it apart. These other sensors, these right here, these little clips on them. Be careful. Use a small screwdriver. You can get them right off. They should pop right out. If they don't, you problem. They're dry rotted. They're old, like this 03 model. They're gonna break. Pop those out. Each fuel injector has a sensor, and that's those sensors right there. That's the fuel injector. Whoops, so I apologize for that. That's the fuel injector right there. And if you look right in there, the little square hole right there on the fuel injector right there, little square hole, that's where this piece right here with the blue clip goes. Each one has one of those the sensors, which is on the fuel rail. The fuel rail is the metal part you see across the top right there, the gold looking piece. That's the fuel rail. It is pressurized at the moment. I'm going to depressurize that, and you want to make sure you do that, because if you go to take it off and it's not depressurized, you're going to get a face full of gas. Because as the car goes, it keeps pressure on the line, because this is as we know, it's a fuel injected car. Yes, it has a pump, but it's an electric pump that keeps pressure on for fuel injected purposes. You have the throttle body, which we're going to take off in a little bit. I think it's 4 bolts. I could be wrong on that, but I think it's 4. It comes off real easy. I'm going to try to take that off along with the plenum, the black plastic piece there we talk about. I'm going to try to take that off with the plenum. I don't know if I'll be successful, but either way, worst case, you just take both of them off. It's not a big deal. And then I probably will remove this motor mount, maybe both. I know I'm going to remove that one probably because I know it's going to be in the way of the valve covers, because I am going to take the valve covers off. If you're doing this job right here and you got to go down to the intake and you're sitting there looking right at, you're going to be looking right at the heads right here. There's the valve covers right there. You're going to be right there at the stuff already. I would, for no more than that costs for just valve cover gaskets, yeah, it's a little bit more work, but it's going to be a lot more work to redo all this. You got to do it anyway. You don't have to take the intake off necessarily, but you will have to take all this stuff right here off. But since you're right here already, I would go ahead and just remove the valve covers and replace the valve cover gaskets. Now, I don't know if I've got a blown head gasket or not. I may have a blown head gasket. I'm going to show you how we test for that. No sense in breaking the head on one if you don't have to, because once you break, once you crack an engine, and you can get them running great, but it's just not the same. I liken it just like to a lamp or a vase. You break the vase, you can glue it back together. It'll be perfect. It'll look perfect. It will function perfect. But we all know it's still not exactly the same vase. It'll be fine, but it's still not exactly the same. And I'm kind of that way. I like for things to be as original as I can. But anyway, we'll get started here in just a minute and we'll get going. I will go ahead and add, however, that we want to go ahead and, can you guys see me okay? I will go ahead and add that while we're down here on this part right here, I mentioned that we're going to go ahead and probably do the valve cover gaskets. If you're already down here, and even though the head gaskets, if they're not blown, I don't want to change them, but I really would rather change them now than have to redo it all later. And another thing, I may go ahead and do the timing belt and all that stuff while I'm at it also, because stuff will be out of the way. The alternator, I'm going to take it off. We don't have to take the alternator off, but I'm going to remove some stuff. There's more than one way to do this job, by the way. It won't be by the manual, but a good mechanic, maybe 3 or 4 hours. I have seen videos. A guy I've watched on one YouTube video, I think he can do it in 20 minutes actually. But now he did have all this already off, so this is a big part that's in the way. I'm not going to take this off because it's not going to be a big deal to me. So we'll get going. Thank you. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this, this motor mount. Give some more room here, just because I don't like to do this in here a lot. If you're wondering why is it not using an impact wrench, well, some things you don't want to use an impact wrench on, and this is one of them for me. But if you have one, then I would suggest using it. No problem with it at all. If it doesn't want to cooperate, that's okay. I'll repeat the step. The bottom end down here. I'm not wearing my latex gloves at this point, but I will be wearing latex gloves. Now there's oil involved right here at this very spot. You can see here as we're starting to get some more room here, right there. So let's keep going on that. We'll go ahead and remove this bracket here. And it shouldn't be real tight. It'll be pretty easy to get off. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the spark plug wires. through here. I got 2 more bolts here to get off to here because this is blocking my way to the valve cover. And I'm going to go ahead and get that out of the way. But first thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and undo these little clips. Little screwdriver in here will pop there, and they will come right off. That 3 little clips. You want to keep up with these though. Don't lose them. So there's one. Leave this in here. Leave that in there. So leave that over there. 4, 2, 4, and 6 there. So we're going to take 2 for now. 2, 4. You can go ahead and undo them all. It doesn't matter. 2, 4, and 6 are in the front. You know, like the old Chevrolet is 1, 3, 5, 7 on the right and 2, 4, 6, 8 on the left. Looking from the hood, but it's not. It's not going to be like that. So we're going to get all these out of the way. Take the dipstick out. It's the first thing you should have done. Don't have to, but no, again, if you got stuff in your way, you're going to want it out of your way. So why would you not do that? So you want to get all the stuff here out of your way. Right here. Alright. So you see we're right here on these wires, right in here. So they just slide up under this bracket that I will need to remove. And it's about this time right here, when I'm filling this wires here, that some folks are going to say, I've had it, I'm fed up with it. This is what makes mechanicking not fun, working on any car. You're going to want to just take the thing like I have done in the past, sad to say, and just rip them out of there. Well, then you defeat the whole purpose of doing it yourself, because you really didn't save any money. That's nice. The real benefit is not so much saving money, although it is a benefit, especially nowadays. But the real benefit is going to be, did you learn anything? If you say no, then well, then you didn't learn anything. But you need to be able to learn something. These are going to be on tight in here. Come off. Twist there. These are I had already taken the thing here to get my thing here. Thing here, and pop that one off there, and it'll be snug tight. They've had a lot of heating and cooling, and anytime you have heating and cooling, what are you going to get? These are going to swell, they're going to shrink, you get tempered and brittle and pretty hard in the car. So they're going to be on there. You want them on there. You want them coming loose. That's what one looks like right there, spring inside there. So we'll continue to get these off. Okay, get my wrench over here and we'll pry. You guys couldn't see us a good while ago, but I want you to take a look at what I'm talking about when I talk about the spark plugs being on real tight. It's the silver thing right there. That's what we're looking at right there. That's the plug we're trying to get off right now. So we'll back out a little bit, and we got one there, and I got the one in the middle off, and the other, as you can see, is down right there. If you can see that far, right there. Oops, right in there. You see that? That wire down in there. So that's why I want to remove that cover there. We have a stubborn one down here we're going to try to get off again. Didn't want to quite work the way the way I want it to. So what we'll do here is we'll just get our swivel. I'll take it off here. This way. Again, because I'm backing out far enough where it's not going to be beneficial to use the air ratchet for room's sake. The key to this, and I am by no means one to talk about it, the key is just taking your time. It's really not going to be anything that's... If you put Legos together, you can do this. So, there you go. I know the frustration though. Oh, I know the frustration. Leave it there. We'll go ahead and put this stud back, this nut back on here. I like doing that because, yeah, I can figure out where they go, and most of them I do know where they go, but that's beside the point. Because somebody comes along, and you know, out here, guess what? They rearrange stuff, and then you're in kind of a mess. So we got this harness right here to take apart. I'll keep all my tools together. We'll take, it's probably going to be bigger than, yeah, it's going to be bigger than a smaller wrench. So we'll get a smaller wrench. I hope it's 7, or else I have to go to a possible socket, but I don't think it is. And again, you don't have to remove this, but it's just going to be better if we do. So okay, I'm not sure. I want to show you this right here. Now, before you start, we talked about this earlier. We talked about it earlier, but before you start, go ahead and, well, ladies over here, it's properly wired. We got them all. We showed you where to go. Now, this the evaporation unit. Before you start, this is the fuel rail right here. So before all this right here and so forth, let me see it. This is the fuel rail, all this right here, and it goes over the rail and down to here. Now you have a line here and a line here. This right here is on right here. I've already removed it. This one, it snaps down on this little plastic piece right here that you can't see, and it just snaps on there. These two lines come in here. And there can be others as well, but these two lines are pressurized. So make sure you depressurize your system. Now the way I did this one was, you can do it 1 or 2 or 3 ways. I didn't use a gauge. The car's been sitting here since last night, about 11. I opened the gas tank and opened the vacuum tube right here, coming from the evap, or the vacuum line, come from this tube here, and now slowly there's a needle right here, like a tire gauge. It's like a regular tire, and there's no pressure on it. I went in here, mashed 2 clips in, pop this out, and doing the same thing for over here. So you come over here from the back. I'll make sure you guys can see this over here. I want you to see it because it does no good to have a video if you can't see what I'm doing, but it may be hard to see, but it's on this right here. It's down in the bottom right here. There's a white thing right here. You push it on this side, push it on that side on the bottom, and this thing will come up. Okay, so I'll push in there, and we have our other pressure thing off. And this white thing here, if you can see that, this white thing here is turning around here. That will stay on the rail. So like that, and see the harness there. Lay it over here to the side. Wait a second. Now let's see here. We got this one. We got that. Now we need to disconnect it from the alternator.